Omotenashi. That's Japanese. I don't know what the right way to say it, but it's this idea of elite customer service. And as a passenger, what you should tip for. Hi, my name is Levi, and this is the Daily Drive. Now, uh, tipping to me is very important. It's a way of someone, a passenger, expressing to me they valued me and my service more than maybe what Uber pays me. Do I expect a tip on every trip? No, I don't expect it, but I work for a tip and I want to earn a tip on every single trip. And I realize there's challenges with tipping, et cetera, et cetera. But where do I get this desire to work really hard and provide amazing customer service to my Uber passengers, to you? And drivers, pay attention because this is really important to me. Um, I want to earn a tip on every single trip. And the way I do that is through the Japanese phrase, Omotenashi. I don't have the technical definition of it, but I learned it a long time ago when I lived in Japan. I used to live in Japan. And if you've ever been to Japan, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. The Japanese provide amazing customer service. Their whole culture, the Japanese culture is beautifully organized around this idea of discipline, honor, tradition. Like every culture, it's got its bads, but the best part about Japan is it's clean, it's safe, it's organized. When you get on the train system in Tokyo or wherever you might go, it's just great. It gets so crowded in the Japanese trains, they squish you in really tight. There's a guy that stands outside the door and pushes you in before the door shuts. You couldn't do that in America. Americans need a personal space, and we don't bathe as well in some places. Like, have you been on the New York City subway? It's so gross. You don't want to be squished in on a New York City subway. But the reason why you can do that in Japan is because of their culture. And there's this idea of customer service, this idea of making sure the person being served feels welcome, feels like the center of attention is the way it was explained to me. It was like everything you do as the person providing the service is around the customer. Um, that's what I try to do as an Uber driver. I try to provide customer service in a way that is focused solely on the passenger. That's what I want to provide you as my passenger. It starts with having a nice car, and not just, you know, a nice car, but I want my car to be special. Now, there's a lot of Teslas out there, and my Tesla isn't more special than other Teslas. Um, but I think of it as special. I want to know my car intimately. It's the tool that I use. And another place, the cities that I drive in, Syracuse, Ithaca, Binghamton, I know them intimately because that's where I'm at. The Uber app, the Lyft app, I know those tools intimately. There's that particular piece. Now I don't know the customer really well though. And this is where it gets really interesting as far as providing amazing customer service, some sort of world class um Four Seasons, the Waldorf Astoria, a private jet experience in upstate New York for somebody that paid, $10 to go around the block. How do you do that? There's a couple of things for Omo Tanashi, this focus on the customer. For me, it starts with when I accept the ride, I commit to that ride. I don't care where it's going, what's happening next. Once I decide I want to take a ride, I 100% want to get it done. Now, there are times that I cancel for reasons, but it's very rarely. It's basically I cancel when it's extremely busy and the passenger is not communicating to me and I've waited a few minutes and it took me 5 minutes to drive there. I'm not going to sit around and wait for you. So I don't feel like I owe you customer service at that point in time because I'm trying to tell you it's busy. Come on out, hurry up, let's get going. But you're not answering me. So I'll cancel on that. But other than that, I want to provide that amazing service. So it starts with accepting the ride. The second place it starts is I send a custom message. Why is what I hit on my keyboard, but it's like I am on my way. It has a smiley face and an emoji, a little thumbs up. It's just a way to set the tone for the experience. It's like, hey, I'm on my way to pick you up. You matter to me. I'm focused on you now. And if it's a long pickup, sometimes I might even type GGG, which is getting close. That's what that means. So I type GGG and it's a keyboard shortcut and it tells the passenger I'm getting really close. So that way they know it's like they can count on me. It's one of the things that I've heard from passengers. They have a complaint about Uber drivers is that drivers cancel on them. I had that happen this morning. I was picking up a young lady. She was heading to the airport, and she was like, "Thank God you came because I ordered a Lyft, and my Lyft driver was on the way to me, and then about 2 minutes before they got to me, they canceled." And I was standing outside waiting for them. So then I ordered another Lyft and nobody was coming. That was the only Lyft driver, I guess. So then I ordered an Uber and then it took like 5, 10, 15 minutes or whatever it took for me to get you. And she was worried about catching her flight. So seeing my message, why, I'm on my way with a little bit of an emoji, it's like there's a comfort to that. Um, So when I get to the passenger though, and I actually, I guess start to do the physical service itself, the driving the passenger is there's some obvious things that we do as Uber drivers, like parking our car in certain ways. Like I always park my car where I want the passenger to enter and exit this door. There's some safety reasons because if you get in and out of that door, you might open the car door into traffic or something along those lines. But if you open the, this side, but I've set this whole seat up. I've moved this seat a little bit forward here. So that way there's more legroom. Now I'm a short guy, but I want to give the passenger a little bit more legroom. Um, I keep my car immaculately clean back here. I am always constantly taking this floor mat out, shaking it out, swiping it off, vacuuming it as much as I can. I come back here and I wipe the seats down 2, 3, 4 times a day. I even go get the car professionally cleaned at least once a day, outside and inside. I just really care about that particular part of the experience. Now, but that's all. That's still, I still think very common. I think the part where it elevates my game more than just a regular Uber experience potentially is that I don't I don't talk to my passenger. I listen to my passenger. Um, okay. I'm going to put passengers into two buckets. Bucket A is a passenger that gets in my car, they have headphones on, and they don't want to talk to me. Now, I need to talk to them for a brief second to do some coordinating, normal social introductions, maybe even a question just to kind of make sure, gauge, are they doing okay? Like a lot of times, Uber drivers will ask you as a passenger questions because we want to see how inebriated you are. you know, by the way you slur your words back to me, I'm like, who am I dealing with here? So, so just that there's that thing. But once we get going, if you don't want to talk, that's listening to the needs of the passenger. Another part to it though is passengers, a lot of them want to talk. And if they're a talker, we as the Uber driver need to allow them to talk. We got to give them space to talk. And the way I do that is through short, concise answers. If I can give it in one word, it's amazing. But as short as answer as possible. And then a question. Turn it back into the passenger. Let them talk. And I think that's omotenashi. I think that's providing amazing customer service. And one day there will be no driver sitting here in the front seat there. But the people that want to have those human connections and have a conversation, you can do that. Now, the conversation is going to be directed now by the passenger. Do they want to talk about the weather? Do they want to talk about my Tesla and the autonomous feature? Do they want to talk about how much they hate or love Elon Musk and Trump and all that kind of stuff? Or do they want to talk about me? Hey, why did you start Uber driving? And that, let me give you an example. Uber drivers, you must hear this 5 times a day. I know I get it 5 times a day. Is this your full-time gig? Right? Passengers ask me that all the time. Is this your full-time gig? My response is it's canned. I do the same thing over and over. I can do this. I'm going to start learning this in multiple languages. But it's like, yes, this is my full-time gig. What do you do for a living? Do you see what I did there? I answered their question, and then I gave them a chance to talk about themselves. They're probably going to say something about what they do for a living, and who knows where the conversation is going to go. Let me give you a couple others. Are you from here? Well, I live here now, but I grew up in Hawaii. Where are you from? Now, you see what I did there? I answered their question. I gave them a little bit of a nugget of like stuff they could talk about. Are you a full-time driver? You're from Hawaii? Why would you live in Syracuse, New York? Etc. You can go through a couple others. Let's see what are other ones people always say to me. Now I'm forgetting. Oh, are you making good money tonight? Yeah, it's great. I'm having a great time tonight. You know, um, what do I say in response to that? Oh my gosh, I guess it depends. Oh my gosh, what would I say to that? Now I'm having a brain freeze. See, it's not perfect. I'm not trying to preach. My way is the best way. Oh my gosh, are you making good money tonight? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Oh, I had a brain freeze there. Yeah, so when people get in my car and say that, I'll say something like, "Yeah, I'm making great money tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Um, are you gonna go to the game?" Because I drive in a college town, so there's typically sports. Or are you going to, are you heading out to go party? What are you guys up to tonight? It's like again to transfer that. The idea is like they see it as a busy night in their mind, so there's some sort of activity on the college campus that makes it busy. That's of course, I have to see them to know how I might answer that one. If it's two adults, like grown adults, leaving a restaurant, hey, are you making good money tonight? I'll be like, yeah, it's making great money tonight. It's college is in session. It's a lot of fun. Do the college kids bother you guys? No, that's a pretty crappy answer. um, I guess my point is this. Omotenashi, the idea of just focusing in on what the passenger needs. You can do it a million ways. You can think about the way that you drive. Some passengers want you to, hey, I'm running late, so I give them a little bit of the Tesla acceleration. Most of my passengers, I want to be as smooth as possible. I envision them having this big bowl of soup back here, and I don't want them to spill it. So I turn smooth and I don't accelerate. And, I'm trying to get 100% on that driving score. If you're an Uber driver, you know what I'm talking about. Um, I'm doing everything I can to give them an amazing experience. I load the luggage. I don't have a lot of stuff back here. I used to have an iPad. I'll probably put it back in now that the college students are back. But like, a little trivia game, anything I can do to just give them an amazing experience. Omotenashi. Omotenashi. I had to practice that a few times before I jumped on this podcast. No questions from the peanut gallery today, though I do appreciate you guys. I'll go do that tomorrow. I'm trying. I'm going to do a podcast soon about this long ride. I'm all the way down in Pennsylvania. I did a long ride. There's a lot to talk about, but I haven't prepared my notes. So I'm just charging the Tesla. I thought I'd jump on, record a podcast. I want you guys to know, if you're a driver for 2025, I want you to drive your way. So many drivers, to include me, we have this advice. Do omotenashi, get more tips. You do good work. And we're all providing you advice. I don't know if some of it's good, some of it's bad. But the way you're doing it as an Uber driver, I'm sure it works well for you. I'm sure it does. Pay attention, listen to other drivers, but do it your way. I want you to be safe. healthy, happy, and I want you to know that I'm cheering for you. Be well. Bye.